Remember, look at your camera, not at yourself.
Oh yeah.
I just the eyes matter, bro. Because I be seeing your guys' eyes be looking down. I'm like, it's a picture. You're supposed to be looking at the camera.
Okay. Hold on.
Evan's
I
laughing
gotta look
because
at my screen. I gotta look at my screen first to know what I look like before I look up at the camera. Now you got me. You got me.
It's too much. It's too much.
Hey, yo, man, boy, fam trying to follow direction, perplexed. This is F. This is F.
I hope you got me. I hope you
Put
got
up, put up your 20, yo. Put up your 20.
me. All right.
Hey,
Man. Stay warm, Lou.
I think the definition of greatness is to inspire the people next to you. It's not something that lives and dies with one person. It's how can you inspire a person to then in turn inspire another person that then inspires another person. And that's how you create something that I think lasts forever. And I think that's our challenge as people, is to figure out how our story can impact others and motivate them in a way to create their own greatness.
Welcome to the Welcome to the 3-on-3 podcast. That's right. You're tuned into the #1 basketball podcast in the universe. I am joined by my guys, my compadres, my amigos. I got Ev here, my boy Lou, and we have the Pod Mamba who's in the background making sure that he cooks us up production-wise and make sure we continue to be the #1 basketball podcast in the universe. We have a great show in store for you. We're fresh off of an all-star break. We're revived, we're rejuvenated, we've rested. So we're going to be recapping the all-star and some possible fixes that we have. We'll also be talking about this tanking that's going on because everybody's concerned about it, even though it's been happening forever. But whatever. We'll talk about it. We'll talk about it. And last but not least, let's talk about these teams, man, what they got going on this final home stretch here. We have Burnergate again. And some other things happening. So we'll get right into it. We'll get right into it.
Wait.
But first,
I'm about to say, man, cut the music.
Cut the
Before we get into all this nice basketball talk, and happy to be back. Week off.
Welcome back.
All the R's that my boy Hans just laid out. But before we get that, we got to handle business at hand. Okay, this week when you hear this show, we're leading up, celebrating good friend of mine's birthday. I'm not going to put his age out there, but our fearless host here, Hans. You see the birthday boy if you're looking on the visuals on the YouTube. And so we just want to bring our drinks as 3-on-3 Ritual Liz. Say happy birthday to you, my friend, my brother, my guy. Hope you have a great week. Hope you have a great year. God continues to bless you. Happy to be on this ride and on this journey with you, my guy.
Appreciate y'all, man. Appreciate it.
You already know, as in true 3-on-3 fashion, we toasted up. Having a great one to start this year. Our guy Hans, the glue to all of this. So, as Ev said, man, we toast up to you, man. Many blessings this year. Big up, man. Another lap around the sun. To many more. Big toast,
Appreciate it, brother. Appreciate it.
Hans, we started off as interns for Boss FM, and look at us now, baby.
Yeah, look at us now, man.
Another year around the sun, Hans.
We made it.
Another year. We're blessed. We're blessed to have you in our lives. We're blessed for this podcast that you brought us all together. So let's raise a toast to the man we hate the most.
Yes.
Hans Louidor.
There we go, man.
Yeah, I love it.
You already know, man. You may have somebody show up to your door and hit you with a bon anniversaire.
Yes. Or this show may not even air like last time. Who knows? Who knows?
Who can tell the future? Who can tell the future?
Who knows, man? Who knows? As far as our listeners know, I don't have a birthday, so who knows?
If any of our listeners can find the 2024 Hans birthday episode special, please send it to us because we haven't seen it.
We haven't seen it.
We recorded it.
That's crazy. That's hilarious, yo. That was a cool one too. I think we were all
We
in
were in
person that
person
week.
for
Yeah,
yes.
all in person at the crib, man. Yeah, man. So yeah,
Yeah, I'm
Too,
glad
takes a
that
lot.
too,
I'm glad that that episode's gone. Honestly,
too good for public consumption.
no, it's just the audio was just all fucked up, man. We just
Man,
it
here we
was
go.
just too
Look,
echoey. It was
all I
just
know
it
is
needed to be planned out better.
between that and the top 10 point guards, we made
No, what really
Too.
happened was Christian was upset he didn't get flued out. That's what it was. We got to fly the
Duh,
producer out. We got to do it right. We got
you
to do
gotta
it
fly
right.
your boy out, bro.
That's
Seriously.
fair.
You gotta wine and dine me.
That's right. You're right. You're right. You're right. Take you out to Denny's. But listen, thank y'all, fellas. I seriously appreciate y'all. Thank you so much. Um, as y'all know, this podcasting is a passion of mine, and I'm so happy and blessed to be doing it with my friends, my brothers. So appreciate y'all. Thank you. Love each and every one of y'all. Thank you. Let's get started with the show though. Let's get started with the show.
we just
We
took a
had the
bit
All-Star weekend. We had the All-Star weekend, and y'all know this is my favorite part of the season. I love All-Star. It's for nostalgic reasons. It's always been great for me as a kid,
absolutely.
and it's kind of been a tussle the past couple years. But this year was a little different. I'll start it off with this segment, y'all. I actually was not too upset about All-Star Sunday. I'll say that Sunday. I was not upset about it. I thought the game was interesting. I thought it kept me engaged. It kept me entertained. It was competitive. I like this format. I'm pretty sure they're going to tweak it here and there. But shout out to the players for playing hard. Shout out to the players for playing hard. I was pleasantly happy with it. Now Saturday, uh, we still got to work it out, and I know we'll get into some discussions about Saturday and some tweaks that we may have. But I want to start with Sunday, just because I know we didn't want to dive too much into Sunday. But what was your impression? I'll start with you, Ev, on Sunday. Did you think it was competitive? Did you like what you saw? Is this a fix? Is this the way moving forward? Or was this just a flash in the pan kind of phenomenon?
I think anytime you can add some personal stake and personal pride to it, you have at least a temporary boost in attention and effort and gain. And so that's what I think you saw. I think we knew about the US versus the world angle. I do think it was very clunky getting to Sunday. I mean, even the way players kept changing teams up to the last minute because of injury. But once you got to Sunday, I think there was, the competitiveness was there. Wemby brought it off the off jump. Ant matched his energy. And so you had it there, right? What we didn't really align prepare ourselves for until the game kicked off was that old guard versus new guard type competitiveness as
It's a new
well, right?
wrinkle. Yeah.
Right. So that I think that added a bit of a wrinkle, and it kind of called out, what we've said in our circles is the reason why the All-Star game has kind of lost its luster is because we've said LeBron has led his contemporaries into a more laissez-faire approach to the game. The youngsters weren't letting that happen, right? So the older players to an extent had to match their energy. So within all that, I think you had a mix that worked for this year. A little skeptical on will it work every year, but I think for this year, yeah, NBA was successful with it.
Um, I think you're absolutely right. And if you watch previous All-Star games and the ones that have been competitive, right? So I'm talking about early 2000s. So we're going to talk pre-LeBron essentially, right? You're talking about early 2000s, late 90s. It was that competitive edge, but it had that narrative that you're talking about, that wrinkle that you're talking about. The old guys, we're not going to let these young guns come out here and do us, right? I don't know if you remember this legendary one when Marbury was going off, Kid was going off, like it was like, yo, we're here. Like, I know you guys are the old cats, but like, we're here and we're letting you know we're not going anywhere. So if they could find a way to maybe continue that going, I'm right. I don't think this USA versus World is really going to stoke the flames like we think. But if we could find a way to continue to keep that fire brimming of the younger guys putting their stamp and grasping a hold of the league, I think it would be great.
It's great that you bring up that All Star, and I'm trying to think what year that was. That was what, 05? All Star.
It was before LeBron though. It was before LeBron.
Was
It
it
had to
before?
be
I feel like it's in
01.
that 01
Oh, so
to
that might be
Yeah,
the
03
it
01.
might be the 01. So when they were still,
Marbury
T-Mac
was
still.
a net. Wasn't he a net?
I think he was. I think he might have been a son.
Was he a son? I feel like he was a
I
net.
think he might have been a
Anyway,
son
Pop
because
Mama, get on
the
that
reason was
phone.
I remember him shooting from half court. You know what I mean? Yeah, it was entertaining, but it still was competitive. Like they still added, some of the stuff. Like we remember, T-Mac throwing it off the backboard and so on and so forth. They gave you a little bit of the show, and then as they got down to the nitty gritty, they cracked down. But you guys already kind of mentioned like what was great about seeing competition again in the All Star game. And what I think in terms of just kind of what you last mentioned, Hans, and what will end up kind of moving forward as that old guard starts to sunset and they're no longer in the league. I think this new era of guys, whether it's world or versus US or not, this new era of guys is really bringing in that competition. And if it becomes, because I think that there has been some mention of the newer guys that we want to bring back the East versus West again. And I think they'll kind of be excited because of the competition level of the
right.
Wembys, of the Ants, of the Jalen Johnsons. Like these new guys they really want to compete. So it's exciting to see that they have that, and they want to go out there and show out. And Donovan Mitchell, no, you cannot play for Panama, so you're not on the world team. But it's just it's exciting to see these guys really, really bring it to each other. And you can see, for instance, like Wemby, like really tight that they lost. So he's like, now I really wanted to get these guys. Hans, I know the soapbox is always prepared for you every All Star. So I'm glad that this year, at least, it wasn't a F minus.
Nah.
If you would have graded
This was the best All-Star
in at least a decade.
game in, I would say over 10 years.
Yeah. If you guys were to grade this All Star game, and I
Well,
guess overall,
I wouldn't say that.
Not
Kobe,
better than Kobe.
since Kobe's been gone, I'll say that.
Yeah.
Greatest All-Star since Kobe's been gone.
Okay, I thought that
that
one was pretty good. Right after he passed, when they brought in that
I don't think it's been 10. Has it been 10 years since Kobe
it's
retired?
almost. That was
Has
10.
it? It is.
That was
That was
10.
10. Okay,
Yeah.
so it's 10. Yeah, then it's 10.
Yeah, that was 10 because I
Bob
think
Mamba 262. Bob Mamba saying 2016.
yeah,
So
'cause
yeah,
that was the last dope dunk
That's 10.
contest. Yeah, that was that same year. But
got you.
I mean, and I don't know if you want to wait till after we talk about some of the other stuff, but if you would have just the All Star game itself, how would you grade it?
I would grade that All-Star game a B plus. B plus just because the first two games were really competitive. They went down to the wire. And then the last game, I don't know if the old guys ran out of gas or what happened there. Essentially, what really happened, I think they ran out of gas.
They have the rotation that they needed.
yeah. They got blown away by the young cats. So that's why I kind of give it a B plus.
Well, but what about you?
I would have said a B just because I knew Hans was gonna say a B plus. I liked it. I did like it. I feel like we were still trying to figure out the rules and everything up until the moment of the game, right? So it's hard to be excited when you're trying to figure out what it is you're watching, right? So if it matches this next year with even the same amount of intensity, I would say a B plus for next year, just because I know what to expect, if that makes sense.
It does, 100%.
Yeah, I think on the other side for me because I didn't necessarily know what to expect, I actually probably did make it a little bit more exciting. But yeah, just the last game not being as competitive, I would I'll probably rate it about a B as well.
Got you. All right, fellas, let's move on to Saturday night. I know that's what we wanted to talk about. So we had the shooting stars. We had the 3-point contest. Shout out to Dame. Dame coming out, letting everybody know. So go ahead. Say your comments. Go ahead. I'm ready for it. I'm ready for it. I got my drink in my hand too. Go ahead.
Yo, man.
What's up?
When's Dame's next game?
Don't worry about it. There's
Schedule
Craig Hodges.
Schedule hasn't dropped for that
Craig
season
Hodges blamed Stern. Craig Hodges wasn't even in the NBA. He didn't play for no team. And they let him come and do the 3-point shootout. So at least my boy was signed and on a roster. Okay.
Oh my God.
I don't know if I'm in the majority or the minority, but I have no issue with Dame participating in the contest. 1, because he's a previous time winner. 2, because he's a star. And 3, all right, this one's a little petty. He got shut out from the All-Star game for so long that I'm happy for him to be at All-Star weekend.
I was just about to thank you too. I was just about to thank him.
No,
and then
he gonna
end like that.
Why you
right?
thought you were gonna be able to get? You give him some props, man. You know he's gonna slide something on.
I thought it was my birthday, and he was just gonna go all the way, and
shout out to Dave. I mean, listen, the Blazers, represented well Saturday night.
Whatever, man.
The Knicks, another championship on our mantle.
Okay, we didn't
for the 26th season. I mean,
I don't know.
Even hang up the Gary banner.
Let the hold on. Let the champs talk. Okay, let Hans and Evan talk about victories. All right, that's all I'm saying. Let's talk about victories.
Go on mute. My bad.
Listen, man. Nah. I was happy to see him. It warmed my heart, and I appreciate every time I get to see a Portland Trailblazer go out there and be successful. Well, let's talk about the blunder that was the dunk contest. It was cringeworthy. It was bad. It was bad. I couldn't believe what I was watching and just shaking my head throughout. It was bad. Besides canceling it, Ev, I know you had an idea out there on how to fix it. What's your solution for this dunk contest?
All right. So before I lay it out, I will say canceling it is not necessarily my deal, but just like they don't have the skills contest every year, right? They switch the other events around. You don't have to have a dunk contest if you don't have the quality enough players to have it. Just be flexible with it and make 3-point your flagship event of the night. But if you want to fix it, I got an idea. So let's talk through the problems with the dunk contest real quick. 1, no name recognition. 2, too many attempts at missed dunks. I say those are 2 of the main ones, right? Here's how I propose to fix it. You remember when you played knockout in school? But you did at the free throw line or the 3-point line?
Yeah.
Every team represented. 1 representative from every team. You have a knockout style dunk contest. From Atlanta down to Washington, you get 1 dunk attempt, and you go. And as you go, the person after you goes. If their dunk's better than yours, you're eliminated. You know how you go to games? And during timeouts, they have that thing, like it might be like a Sprite event or something where you pull out your phone and you're playing a game on the Jumbotron. You let the fans vote that way via their phone for each dunk as it happens.
Okay.
So you go from 30 to 15 to 7 to 3. Boom. Then you're done. 1 dunk each per team.
I like it. Fan interaction keeps them glued in. Here's my thing. Is it only fans in the arena or people watching get to vote as well too?
You got to get technology on that. I don't know. I don't know if we can make the whole world
they
real
can.
time.
They can. They do it on other shows all the time. They do that.
Scan the QR code and get in.
I'll tell on myself a little bit. I stream, so you know how I tell y'all don't spoil what's happening for about 30 seconds. My vote might not ever make it in. So I may just need to be who's in the arena.
Heard. I got your passcodes, man. Hit me up. I got you. You can watch it live.
I appreciate it.
But no, I like that. I like that for fan participation. Also, every team, right, gets to participate. So there's like a banner of pride. Like, hey, you're not representing yourself, you're representing the organization, right?
Yeah.
So it's not a lot of pressure. Well, it is pressure, but it's like you're representing the organization. They'll beef you up. So I know I like that. I like that. I like that.
Mhm.
I think that's dope. My boy, I wanna shout out my boy Jay Reed, man. A faithful listener. Lou, you've met Jay. Um, Faithful listener. He gave an idea, and I wanted to shout him out and throw the idea out to you guys. So, Jay, if you're listening, I got you, my guy. So his idea was this. You know how we have in the Olympics, they're happening right now. On certain Olympic events, right? It's more about skill and accuracy, right? How well can you perform this certain skill? So Jay's idea was basically we need to treat the dunk contest like that. On the first round, we have what's called tier one dunks, and who can complete these dunks to the best, to near perfection, and they're rated on that. And we have these tier dunks. They can be like old dunks from past legendary dunk contests, right? Like the Dr. J. Is that a tier one or a tier two? How close can you get to that, or how much can you perfect at that? And we perfect that, and it keeps rotating, and you judge it basically like an actual skill. So not just you out here trying to freestyle and do something crazy and fail. This is the dunk that you need to go ahead and do it. But they won't know beforehand. They'll just see it on there. They'll have 15 seconds to look at it, memorize it, execute.
I like that a lot.
Pod Mamba.
Here's an idea. How about the next CBA, the NBA forces all the rookies to be eligible for the dunk contest, because that's how it used to be. All the upcoming rookies in the NBA, they all did the dunk contest. Kobe. Who else did? Was Michael a rookie when he did his, or?
No, Mike was like year 5 or 6 because that was
Yeah.
88 and 89.
There's other
And-
notable
I feel like he
rookies.
did a
There's
great
other
job.
notable rookies who've done. I'm Blake. No, wait, was Blake Griffin? No, Blake Griffin.
Blake was
Well,
his first.
Blake was technically not a rookie.
Yeah,
because-
his redshirt freshman year.
Okay.
yeah, he did.
But
he
the
did.
but the essence of what you're saying, I agree with. This used to be the move for the young, and not just the young star in the
Yeah.
making.
So like
right?
Cooper
So,
Flag
like,
would have been in this year, or like
VJ Edgecombe should have been in
VJ
it.
Yeah.
Ace Bailey should have been
Zion
in
Williamson's fat ass should have been there when he was a rookie.
Whoa.
So, what I think you need to have a mix of it all, right? Because what the big piece of where this is falling off is the lack of skill of the dunkers. Like we're not getting the top tier dunkers. So I think other than yes, it would be great to kind of have these younger guys because that's usually where you would make a name for yourself, especially if you're not you don't make the All-Star game, so you have an opportunity to participate. So I think it maybe as you put it as an incentive in their contract. So if they do participate, they may be able to get something else because
Not
I would
forced.
I would hate for like AJ to come into the league next year and not participate in the dunk contest. But again, I think to the point of Evan and Hans is there still has to be a level of skill that makes the dunk contest interesting, and I think that's where it has been lacking, and especially in this dunk contest, it had opportunity with some nostalgia, with Jason Richardson's son being in part of it, and so on and so forth, but ultimately it just missed the mark.
I just don't need to be seeing a player who's only played 3 minutes in his NBA career win the dunk contest. So I mean, we need higher profile names.
No, yeah, I get you. I get it, but also you still want people who are good at dunking, right? McClung is not a big name, but in terms of like a player, but in terms of the skill of dunking, he at least made it exciting. And 10 years ago, we had the best dunk contest we've seen, arguably probably one of the best contests ever. But Levine and Gordon, they still were the marquee names of their teams. But still they weren't the best guys in the league, right? But they were great at being able to dunk. So I think it needs to be a mix of two.
And last thing before we go, Hans, get rid of the skills contest, make it a 1-on-1 1v1 tournament, just like how the women's did it this year.
I I like that, but I like the skills contest when they included the women. I think that there should be some inclusion of the WNBA because
That wasn't a
they're
skills
really
contest. That was like the star shooting or
sorry.
something like that.
Yeah,
And yeah, you're right. I like you have the legend, you have the current NBA, and then you have the WNBA affiliate. I thought that was cool.
Yeah,
I like that.
I thought that was cool too. I don't think you think these guys are not showing up for a dunk contest. They ain't showing up for no 1v1. That's not
Bullshit.
happening.
Bullshit.
That's
You
not
don't think
happening.
they want to cook each other?
No, they're not
fam.
showing up
Fam,
for
you talking
1v1.
about the big? You talking about big three right now?
Not the names you're thinking of. If you're wanting big names, yes, the younger cats may want to cook each other. Your Knipples,
The
your
sign-up sheet will be
Flags.
very long.
Luca is not showing up for no
The-
1v1.
Yeah,
bro.
Luca's
Right.
not gonna be
Right.
there. KD's not showing up. Like they're not
Joker
doing
doesn't
that.
even look like he even likes to play the
He's
game.
like
He's not showing up.
1v1. Yeah,
I'd rather watch my horses race. Come on, stop.
yeah. That's not happening. That's not
Hey,
happening.
shout out to Jay Reed. That was a great idea, sir. I like that.
Yeah, man, Jay, we gotta have you on the wait, no, we're not having you on the show because it's too much Nick fandom already. We're not doing it, Jay. I love you, Jay, but it's too much.
Whenever you want to come on, Jay, holla at us, okay?
All right, fellas, let's move on. All right. So the NBA reporters and everybody has been in a kerfuffle in regards to tanking and what's going on. I know most notably the NBA did fine the Utah Jazz, right, for their usage of their players or lack thereof usage of their players. And essentially, I don't know, man. I need you guys to level set. I feel like this has not been like this has always been an issue. So what is it about this year that people are all up in arms about?
So Philly was a season long intentional movement, right? Like they communicated, we're going to do this for the next 3 years to give ourselves the best, the best opportunity to tank. When you trade for a player, he's playing in the game, and then he sits in the fourth quarter of a game that you were winning, right? On the week that things are transitioning to the NBA from an eyeball standpoint, right? Because we're coming off the Super Bowl, right? This turns into the topic. And so that's what makes it seem most egregious. Now, we saw similar last year, yes, and we see it in every year that there's a good draft class. So that's why we see it. There's 4 players at the top of the board at next year's draft that are worth tanking for. And when you have a system that incentivizes losing to give you the best chance to get a premier player, smart people are going to figure out the best way to do so to get after that. So I mean, it's always going to be a topic. The reason as long as this is the current system.
I'm with you, but I don't know, bro. I feel like we're talking semantics because at the end of the day, I feel like when you participate in tanking, and like I agree with F, right? There's certain the way the draft is set up and the odds for the lottery, it encourages that. But in my opinion, if we want to stay true to the essence and the spirit of the game and the spirit of competition, whenever you participate in tanking, it's an automatic smack to the face anyway, right? So, are we talking about semantics of which type of slap is worse and more egregious to the fan or not? Was that game really going to make a difference to Utah or not? They're in the bottom 4. Do you get what I'm saying? So like, what are you really expecting? What are you really fighting for? Right then and there. Why is the hoopla and all that? Now, granted, I'll say this in terms of and I know we're gonna shift the conversation to there. They could have executed it better, right? If that's what you're arguing with, if we're focusing on Utah, right? If we're talking about the game that Lou's referencing and it was competitive, if you're focusing on that, right? They could have executed that better. But at the end of the day, like it's all a smack to the face. It's all a smack to the face, bro. Like it really is. That's not fair to any of those markets in there. It's not fair to Dallas. It's not fair to New Orleans. It's not fair to Indiana. It's not fair to Washington. Like it's you get what I mean? Like so that's why for me, I'm like they did it cool. Like what y'all expect?
And I think a big part of it is, I guess where it feels like it crosses the line is, I think anything is fair game up until tip off, right? But once the players that are playing are on the court or on the bench to play, the expectation is the players that have suited up that night are going to do everything it takes to win, right? I use Washington for an example. They're executing a tanking strategy in another way. Trade for players that we have no intention of playing this season, right? But when they go out there with 8 no names, those 8 no names try to win the game. And so when you have players and you're winning the game and then you actively, okay, y'all don't play anymore and you healthy, that crosses a different line into the integrity of what's being played on the court. So I think that's where the semantics are at. There's a line of competitiveness that some feel that's crossed. But
You know what I feel like you're. That's fine. I'll let it go. Like I
no,
feel like you're still.
I'm with you. They like you losing anyway. Like use New Orleans as an example. Like New Orleans is doesn't even have intensive to tank because they don't have their pick. They just bad, right? Like
It's
you
like for me,
trying and you losing. What's the
it's
difference?
like it's like you're saying I robbed this bank and I steal the money from the vault or the cash register. You get what I mean?
I'm with you.
Like
I'm with
the
you.
money that's
I'm
in
with you.
circulation or the money that's not in circulation. Like I stole.
Yeah. Right.
But I
But
get it. Optics. I feel like optics. Yes, I agree. I feel like optics matter to a certain degree, and the optics look the worst. But for me, like the integrity, it's all there. You have to have the integrity, and from the beginning, you knew you wasn't gonna try to win this season. That's not in your head. When you know this season you're not trying to be competitive, you effed up the integrity for me.
so that comes to the well, I was just gonna say that comes to the greater issue at hand, right? So when you talk about a lottery, right? I'm not saying I play the lottery, I'm not saying I don't, but I know millions of people do play the lottery, and they all have the same odds of winning the lottery, right? The NBA though has a sliding scale of odds. Why not, if you don't make the playoffs, you're in the lottery, and all those teams that equal chance, and it's just random amongst your bad teams versus incentivizing teams to be worse than others. It's not making worse teams better definitively,
That's
right?
too. You don't think that's too big of a pull, Ev?
What do you mean? I mean, if I
You
know
said
I'm
if
in the
you don't
lottery.
make the playoffs, right?
Mhm.
You're just adding a whole nother one, two, three teams, four teams to that pool. So
No,
before, right, as it currently stands, right, the bottom is essentially what? The bottom two, bottom three, right?
everybody trying to get to like the bottom three, maybe bottom
Yeah,
four.
bottom
Yes.
three essentially, right? Those are your best odds. But if you're saying you don't make the playoffs, you just essentially added like 4 or 5 more teams to a pool that could be tanking.
Maybe that. So maybe put a playing
That's what
wrinkle
I'm
to
saying.
it.
We need to
Yeah.
shrink that pool. So if you're
But if
saying even the
everybody's
odds,
chances, if everybody's chances are low, like I think less teams would tank if they had a 1-2% chance of getting the top pick
uh,
versus the teams are tanking to try to get to those best odds at the bottom.
okay, let's use this example right now, Ev, that you're
Mhm.
stating. Let's go to the East. You're telling
Okay.
me Atlanta, Charlotte, Milwaukee, Chicago, they went throwing the towel to try to get a piece of these top three draft picks that are coming right now.
I think with smaller
Whereas
odds,
now,
they're less.
no, but you're saying the odds are even now. If you don't make the playoffs, everybody has even odds, right?
Mhm.
It's less percentage wise, but it's still an odd compared to now. The odds are way off if you're in that bracket, right? The percentages are way off unless you're Dallas last year, and we will talk about that, right? The percentages are way off. My argument to your theory, which I agree, I would just lessen the pool, is that if we adopt your theory, right, for this season, this incentivizes Atlanta, Charlotte, who's been on a run, right? Milwaukee and Chicago to throw in the towel. Shut it down because we're not gonna. You get what I mean? That's my when you say playoffs. If you say now play in, I think that's make the pool smaller.
I think maybe that team on the fringe, like the difference between 10 and 11, might think it, but I don't think you have a race of teams trying to get out of the playoffs the way you have a race of teams trying to get to the bottom 3 or 4 picks. But I mean, the point is, we have a system now that incentivizes teams finding creative ways to lose earlier and earlier, especially in this year when you've had a cluster of teams that have been around the same record at the bottom now for really the entire season. So they're trying to outcompete one another down to the bottom of the standings, and that's just what you got to get rid of. As long as they're incentivized to do that, they're gonna come up with creative ways to do that each year, and it's gonna keep happening.
What do you think about the solution or the idea? I'm sorry, that's been thrown out there that if you do get a top 5 draft pick, you can't get one again for a while or however many number of years. Do you think that would curb it a little bit? So
I,
it force you to develop said player and actually work on, trying to get the fruits of your tanking labor that you did the seasons prior.
I don't love it. I see it. What you would have to do with that though is you got to get rid of all these pick protections. I think that will work until the worst team couldn't have their pick, and then the next 4 teams didn't own their pick, and then it ended up going to OKC, who should have been picking 7th with another team's pick, and now OKC has the number 1 pick because of a new rule, and then we'd immediately try to get out of that rule. So
Yeah, well, I know we have 1 more minute. We got to go. Last thing I'll throw out there is the draft the problem. Should they go soccer style, no draft, get rid of it? Is the draft the problem?
So I've seen that as well, and my only concern with that is I don't remember the person on Twitter that tossed out the question, but the first time, so I've seen it pitched in like almost like a draft, a rookie pool, right, where you have X amount of dollars that you could spend. But the first time New York or LA has only $1 million,
Thank you.
and then Nike says, "I'll give you $40 million to sign for that $1 million with New York and LA." Now we got another problem on our hands.
That's what it comes down to. I think the difference is because the pool in which you're picking from for basketball is much different than baseball, soccer, and so on. It's not feasible. You know what I mean? You don't have the same amount to pick from. So if you have money, you automatically could get the top, and everybody else falls by the wayside.
Okay, so the Knicks and Lakers would be in favor of that, essentially.
Forever.
Got it. And we don't want that to happen. So go ahead. I'm sorry, Ev.
I was just gonna say, in the words of Kanye West, I don't have the answer, Sway.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Cam Boozer, you are a Laker.
This guy. Well, at least Miami might have a little bit of money to play with. Big market.
Yeah, I guess maybe.
No, it's just like an MLB, like an international pool, Evan. Like the teams that have used up a certain amount of that international pool money can't offer another star more money than other teams. So there's a way to kind of like combat, the top destinations from getting all these.
I'm sorry. You as a Dodger fan is saying this?
He's talking a different international pool right now. He's talking for those.
I'm glad you said
17-year-old prospects.
You guys were collecting players like Thanos, like
Evan knows what I'm talking about. People who know baseball know what I'm talking about.
How do we mute the Mambo? Because it as an LA market fan,
you can. I have the power. I'm muting you.
an LA market fan and just have the pick of the litter when it comes to, oh yeah, I'm a writer. Check. Yeah, get him out of here.
Like the Yankees of the early 2000s, boy. I tell
Word.
you, boy, rich get richer, man. Rich get richer.
I can't
All right,
hate on
fellas.
them because I remember those days.
That's why you're quiet. All right, fellas, let's move on. Wow. All right, last topic, last segment of this wonderful show that we got going on here, man. Some teams are on this home stretch. We're on the back half of the season. It's time to tighten up, make your final adjustments, get ready for this playoff push or play-in push, whatever you land, or tanking push, some type of push. Push comes to shove right here. This is what we're talking about on this segment. So let's talk about these Clippers, man. We failed to mention them a couple of times. They've been heating up amidst of all this controversy going on with aspiration, false trees not being planted, money allegedly being slid on, over, across, the side, all over the table with Kawhi. James Harden being shipped to Cleveland and they receiving Garland. And then they also got Benedict from the Pacers. In the midst of that, Kawhi's been having a good season. He's looking good. He's playing well. He's averaging 20 plus. He looked great in the All-Star as well, too. Was out here playing, scored like 30 points in one game. He was doing his thing. They are climbing up the standings. Is everything turning for the Clippers, or is this just kind of a push to save face with all the trouble that they have brewing in the front office, back office, and everything else with this organization? How serious do you guys take the Clippers? Anybody can go.
My conspiracy hat is on. So I think what's going on now is they're just kind of waiting for the other shoe to drop. I think that what's going on with Kawhi is probably a little bit more serious than they're letting on, but the NBA is just trying to find a way to manage this. I think that's part of why some of the exodus of these players have happened. And then even to see Kawhi check himself out the game. Was it Ty Lue? Was it Kawhi? Like, is it? Are we now going to see the same old tale with Kawhi? He already said, "I think it's over." So what does that really mean? So I'm not buying it with the Clips. I think what we're gonna see is basically like the same old tale that we've seen before. Kawhi has these stretches that he gives you, and then it ultimately leads up to nothing. So I think that the Clips are already kind of looking to what next season looks like. But yeah, interested to see what happens when this case kind of the other shoe drops on this, and we see how this all kind of pans out.
You know how when you were in grade school, and you knew the teachers that called your parents, and so when you saw your mom or your dad in the window pull up at the school, and by the time they got to your class window, you was working hard. Your face,
Studious.
Studious, raising your hand, everything. I feel like that's Kawhi right now. This has been his most successful stretch of basketball since 2019. He's playing like his mom is about to pull up at the school and tear that butt up. That's what he's playing like right now.
Oh man.
And so I let Lou go first because I'll be honest, I hadn't thought about it from a conspiratory way until he had brought it up prior to the show. And as I sat back and thought about it for a minute, it makes a lot of sense. Like, I understand, James Harden was home, and then all of a sudden, I'm ready to go. Y'all can get me out of here. I'm fine with that. Nothing acrimonious, no hard feelings. Let me just go somewhere.
Mm-hmm. And it actually was serendipitous with it for him because if everything was working with Garland, he doesn't have that opportunity.
Right. Zubac, I think we kind of went back and forth on what kind of trade was that. We went through that too. Zubac, sorry. We went back and forth on why the Clippers would make that trade as well. Interesting trade. So you bring in some younger players, and then Kawhi, he doesn't talk a lot. So when he says, as demonstrably as he did, now this is over, it makes you think, okay, what do you mean by it's over, right? Um,
Classic
I,
Drewski. What do you mean by that?
Man,
right.
you
I
guys
think
got
I'm
on. You guys have your tinfoil hats on tight. Go ahead,
Hey,
man. Go
well,
ahead.
well, well. So another part,
let him cook. Let him
yeah,
cook.
yeah. So another part of that, this all signs were pointed to this being wrapped up before the All-Star break. I was hearing back as early as December as the NBA knows what they want to do, right? Their investigation's pretty much wrapped up. We should be hearing about this. But you can't have an All-Star game in the Clippers arena, all of that, if you just announce these
You about to
sanctions.
punish them? Yeah.
Right. Before, right. So it makes more sense to move it to the right, get this weekend out of the way, and now you handle the business at hand. So I don't know what's gonna happen, but there are a lot of signs pointing towards all right. The NBA has the Clippers,
What do
smoking
you
barrel.
guys? What do you guys think is going to happen to the Clippers in terms of this?
If Pop Mamba has his way, they'll
I'm
move
about
him to
to say that.
Seattle.
Absolutely.
They'll
I was
move
just
the
about to say, man.
franchise. Yo,
Absolutely. Because hold on, remember, but there's a conversation about two more expansion teams.
yo,
So
that's expansion, fellas. Like this is
nah,
Hold
hold
on,
on.
hold on,
Let-
hold on.
Let's talk about history with the Clips. They booted the owner before.
I heard
Hey,
something. I
if
heard
they
something
if
crazy.
I'm just saying, like, hey, if it comes to a situation where they really got to save face, you already have one LA team. You have to have a second? Oh, here we go. All right.
As
Yep.
much as I would love for the Clippers to get their asses bounced back to Seattle to be the Supersonics, it will never happen because they just built that stadium or that arena. So it is.
So here's what I heard that was crazy, Pop Mamba. I heard punishment to Balmer, move the team to Seattle, sell the stadium to the Lakers because y'all need a new stadium.
Wow.
I would
y'all
love
gonna
it.
play in Inglewood.
I would love it, and I
Y'all
think I
gonna play in
deserve.
Inglewood though.
I was in Inglewood when it was being built. It joint massive. It's dope.
They can't even sell out their own arena right now. So
I don't know. I'll say this. I think what's going to happen is similar to what's happened in the past. I think Kawhi's going to lose money. I think the Clippers are going to lose money via a fine, and they're going to lose draft picks for a couple years off of this because they're trying to circumvent the cap. Losing a team, I don't think so. I think the Clippers are here to stay. As much as they balance the LA foolishness, I'll say that they balance LA foolishness. Just like I'll say the Nets have always balanced the Knicks because the Knicks are a high ticket. It's
You
the
don't
high
believe that.
ticket.
You
It's
don't
for
believe
the
that.
it's for the elite people, the bougie, people, whatever, and the regular blue collar people who want to see a game and not pay their mortgage or rent to get into the building. They can go see,
I would agree with you if you made a
another game.
Yankees Mets comparison, but remember, they moved that Nets team right down northeast quarter, right down across through that Holland Tunnel. You know what I mean? But what I will say is this: I think it just depends how deep it goes on the back end. I think if it involves Clippers, management for all. I think if it's deeper in terms of the ownership and so on, it could be as bad as that. If it just comes down to, hey, look, we're gonna cut our losses with Kawhi, and we can clean this up, and the buck can stop with him. They'll boot Kawhi because I don't think they at the end of the day Kawhi is necessarily moving the middle.
this is what I think is gonna happen. Like honestly,
He's not moving the needle.
they're gonna find the Clippers 5 million.
27 points a game.
They're gonna find the Clippers five something million, whatever the most they could find them. They're gonna take away eligible draft picks that they have coming up because they've given up, all.
They
their
don't
picks.
have much anyway.
That's
in
why I
terms of
said
draft.
they're eligible
Too much.
draft picks.
Stop repeating me, Christian. Go ahead.
And then when they void Kawhi's contract, it's gonna be on the books for the Clippers. They're not gonna get out of it.
So you say they're gonna void his contract, but they're still gonna owe money,
Yes,
or
They're
it's
gonna
gonna
pay
that
the
count,
money's
league.
gonna be
or
it's
it's
gonna
It's
be
gonna
still
on
count
the
going to
towards,
cap.
count against the
or
cap.
it's gonna count towards their cap.
Yes, the cap.
So they're just gonna have an imaginary bill.
Yep.
And Hans, the reason
Because
why I say
because if you
he doesn't need
if
to
you
meet him,
void his
how many years does Kawhi have left?
if you void his
Realistically, how many years?
contract, they get out of that contract. That they win in that sense. They don't have
They're
to pay
doing
him.
them a favor.
But that's the NBA protecting themselves, man. That's what I'm saying. It's gonna have to fall on somebody's head. It falls on somebody's head, and it's whether it's the player or it's the organization. You can't have this like kumbaya, like we're gonna imaginarily punish you guys, but not really punish you guys, and say it's kind of all good. Again, it depends how egregious this whole shell thing is and how tied it is to the front office or organization and the ownership.
All right, fellas. Let's leave this one here. We got to move on to our last topic of this segment. Another Gates, another burner gate. Kevin Durant. It was during the All-Star game. And what made it so egregious about this? Dude was on his phone. He was on his phone while this was happening.
Live and direct.
Yeah, bro. It's like, come on, my guy. Like,
How are you beating
on
the
your
allegation?
phone. Yeah, bro. Like, come on, bro. But anyway, KD, it's reportedly allegedly because nothing has been confirmed by legit sources stating that it is actually his burner account. But the popular consensus out here is that KD's other burner account, get off my Dickerson. What's it?
He's
Something
done this
Dickerson?
before.
Has been leaked. And in these said texts, he is essentially bashing his teammates, current and old organizations as well. And it brings to question his character, the chemistry with the Rockets right now as they try to make a playoff push, and whether or not people should be side-eyeing him, and not just his teammates, but other players around the league as well. What are you guys' thoughts on this alleged burner account from Mr. Kevin Durant?
I don't understand why you need a burner account. So I struggle with understanding it in its totality. I don't understand. How do you have a burner account, but it seems like you're texting people? Like
are you saying you can't understand the burner account, or you can't understand KD having a burner account? Because those are
I understand those are two different things. Yes, I understand KD has an addiction to unnecessary discourse. That's how I frame it. KD has an addiction to unnecessary discourse.
He's messy. He likes being messy. Come on, call it what it is, bro.
I'm gonna say what it is. If this is true, I'm sorry to interrupt you, Evan.
No,
this
you're
is
good.
True.
You're good.
Exactly.
If this is true, this proves that KD's a hypocrite. As much as he goes and tries to show off like he doesn't care what people say and everything like that, you're a hypocrite, because the only reason you have a burner account is to interact with other people. If you just wanted to interact with your close circle, that's why you have different group chats, right? Everybody here has multiple group chat with different friends that they talk about with different topics, right? That's what you have group chats for. But a burner is for you to specifically interact with the public under a pseudonym or anonymously. So that tells me you care about what the public thinks.
And I was about to say, adding to that, Anj, is not just that you have it to interact with them on specific topics that you feel like you cannot address as yourself. Listen, specific topic. He's wildly insecure. Even the times that you've seen him respond on his own personal account, you see how he responds. Is it wild or far-fetched that he's done it? It's not the first time he's had a burner account that's been exposed. Like, it's not the first time.
It's not far-fetched. It's just, you know what it is? You know what it reminds me of? It's not as egregious. It reminds me of Ja with the gun situation. Like, you just got caught for this, my G. Why are you getting caught again with this? Like, relax. Like, don't do a burner. Like, stand 10 toes down with your own account. Say it with your chest. Hire a good PR team. You fired your media people now. Hire a PR firm, and tussle with your Twitter fingers, bro.
I
Like,
don't know, Hans. I'd say it's worse because at least Ja did it with his shit. Y'all know it was me.
no,
I,
I'm saying like
I get what
worse
you
in the
mean
sense
though.
of like he's not gonna get punished like Ja got. You know,
Yeah.
Ja's career was damn near on the line.
Yeah.
Like
No,
for
I
you
know.
get
I
what I
agree with
mean?
you saying.
You
But at least
know,
I could respect that you like. I did it.
true
Like
facts.
Kitty.
It wasn't
Like
AI.
Kitty. Yeah. Oh my gosh. You know what? I'm going on mute.
That's what I would have said if I was KD. It was AI, bro.
Nah,
That's
Ja got a
AI.
better argument saying it's AI than Katie.
It was AI.
It looks worse you firing your whole media PR team because why fire them if you ain't do nothing? If it's not yours.
And then not to deny it. Like, and I guess I struggle with because I don't 100% know what I want KD to say in a situation when, you know, the court of public opinion, you know, believes that you're guilty of it, right? So does it even matter if he comes out and denies it or not? Or does it matter? Is it better if he comes out and says, yep, this was me, I said it? Like, I don't know what's better or worse for Kevin Durant.
Deny it. Or don't say, well, not deny it, don't say anything. Because think about it this way, Ev. If he comes out and at least with not saying anything, it's up in the air still. There's still that up in the air. If he confirms it one way or the other, he leaves himself vulnerable. Because if he owns it, like he got to look Şengün in the face and be like, yeah, bro, you don't play defense. He got to look Jabari in the face like, yeah, I can't trust you to shoot it, bro. Like,
or keep getting waved off by Jabari for the last shot of the
game. Maybe that's why Jabari waved him off, and maybe that's why Şengün has 6 turnovers. You know, I mean,
I agree with Hans. I agree with Hans because you don't do one or the other. The only thing is, especially you fired your entire team. If somebody's disgruntled, true team like another TMZ, somebody's gonna come in and say, "Hey, he did do it." You know what I mean? Somebody is tight. They feel like they're slighted. They feel like they didn't get what they were supposed to get. If you ain't pay people the way they turn around and they leak something. Oh, it was him. So that's why, like, I was surprised he even fired his media team. Oh no, everybody gets raises because we're gonna keep this tight.
Unless there's something in their contract though, if there's an NDA in place, he can sue them.
Yeah, but still, NDAs can be broken. Cool, you sue them, but the damage is still done. You know,
that's true. Well, if TMZ pays them enough, because we've seen that before, right? Yeah. I'll pay the cost of the NDA, leak the information.
Let me ask you this, and if y'all don't know, it's fine. Help me understand. What platform were these screenshots on?
Twitter. Like, stop showing your age. Twitter. There were conversations of the DM essentially.
I'm sorry,
the DM in Twitter.
Call it X.
X. I'm sorry. Yes. So when they're screenshotted the conversations in the X or DM, it looks like a text message, but it's the DM. So it wasn't post that he was.
I'm showing my age. I am. I just
I hate it being called X, but I'm being facetious in that. But yeah, it's just messy all around. But it reeks of Kevin Durant. So it is like everybody's kind of like even if you would have to disprove that it's not him before people say, "Oh no, I wasn't him." Everybody believes it's already believes it's him. I don't want to brush his hair. I believe it's him. It's somebody who want to brush their hair and go out on the court like that. I believe you out there.
I've been trying to figure out the right way to say this for the last 10 minutes. I say
we'll close after you say it. Go ahead.
For somebody who is as open about his substance abuse use and as open as the country is about trying to legalize the same said substances, KD's actions are not the best argument for legalizing these substances in the country. Because I feel like he does it all day and then goes online and says stuff that gets him in trouble. Not a good look.
You put me on. I didn't know that he was an advocate. I didn't know he was an advocate.
All right. And on that note, thank you guys for joining us. We appreciate it. As always, hit us up on our social media, interact with us, let us know what you think about this episode. Do you think it was KD's burner or not?
It was literally his burner.
Literally, see what you did there, whether it is burner or not. As always, guys, hit us up on our socials. We'll see you guys next week. Take care. Peace, y'all. Peace. What's up, guys? Thank you for listening to the 3on3 podcast. Please be sure to give the episode a thumbs up if you loved it. Hit that subscribe button, and last but not least, hit that bell so that way you're notified every time we drop a new episode. Hit us up on our social media, guys. You can find us at the 3on3 podcast on IG and Twitter. If you want to give us any ideas or suggestions, shoot us an email at the 3on3podcast@gmail.com. We appreciate you. Thank you for tuning in. See you guys next time.